Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ryan, and today I've got a different video for you. This is actually a video that I've wanted to make for quite a while now. I've worked in retail for about 2 years now, a little over 2 years, I think. And, I've had a lot of experience with customers and stuff like that I thought would be funny to share with you. So this is going to be a little segment that I call The Rules of Working in Retail. Now, basically how this is going to work is I'm going to say a rule that you should probably know before going into retail for yourself, along with giving some of my personal stories that I've had with customers to maybe make you laugh or make you wonder just how stupid people are. Now, in this video, I'm mainly going to be talking about the customers that come into the store and not the coworkers, because I can't talk about coworkers. This is not my place to do that. And besides, I pretty much love everyone that I work with. It's a really nice place. And I don't really have many complaints about coworkers, but customers, on the other hand, I definitely have complaints for that. So let's just jump right into this. Now, what I'd like to say is one of the main rules in working in retail would be to know that not every customer is smart. And I'm going to say that very lightly because there are customers out there that are literally borderline just stupid. And let me just share this story with you, all right? It's a little bit of a lengthy story. So basically, it starts off as this guy walks up to me, right? And he goes, "Hey, excuse me, do you know where Sierra Mist is?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, for sure. It's in the pop aisle 5, right?" The aisle wasn't really that important, but it's in aisle 5. And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he goes to look. 5 minutes later, he comes back to me, and he goes, "I still couldn't find the Sierra Mist." So I was like, man, that's weird. I see Sierra Mist there all the time. So I went, and I looked, and apparently, I didn't know this beforehand, but I looked it up on my phone while I was in aisle 5, and it said that Sierra Mist actually changed their brand name from Sierra Mist to Mist Twist. They just changed their name. That's all they did. They didn't change anything in it. They didn't change any ingredients or anything. All they did was change their name. And I was like, oh, okay. So I picked up the 12-pack, and I brought it to him, and I just explained to him. I simply said, hey, Sierra Mist changed their product name to Mist Twist, and that's pretty much all they... we have Mist Twist now. We don't have Sierra Mist anymore. So he was like, oh, okay. And I continued to go and put it in his buggy, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, this is Mist Twist. This is Sierra Mist. It just has a different name. And he goes, "Oh, okay." And I continued to set it down, and he asked me what I was doing again. And I went, "Do you not want it?" And he goes, "No, I don't want it." And I said, "No, sir, it's Sierra Mist. It's the same company. It's not like an off-brand. It's the same company. It's Sierra Mist. It just has a different name." And he goes, "No, I don't want it. I'll go somewhere else." I'll go somewhere else. Are you serious? I have no idea what got into this guy's mind. He just wasn't grasping something at all. And it's just like not even in his head. So, I was just like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. You don't have to get it. That's fine. I understand that. I completely understand that. So, I put it back. But I was just thinking, how fucking stupid is this guy? He's going to go to Walmart, and they're going to have Mist Twist, and he's going to be like, "Oh, what happened to Sierra Mist?" And then he's not even going to listen to me, He didn't even listen to a word I said. So that's something you kind of need to expect if you're working in retail. So, that's just one of the stories I have for you there. Now, another experience that happened at the store that I work at, but didn't actually happen to me, it actually happened to one of my coworkers. And basically what she said was, some girl came through her line. She was a cashier. Some girl came through her line and said, or she was just scanning all her groceries, and then noticed that the juices, she had 2 juices. Basically, they were on sale that week for it was 2 for $5 for the week. That was the sale. 2 for $5. So 2 juices equals $5, obviously. So $2.50 each. And they actually rang up 2 for $4, meaning that they were $2 each and not $2.50 each. So, many people would see that as a good thing. Like, oh, hey, I saved an extra $1. No, she goes, oh, those didn't ring up right. And she took a closer look, and she goes, oh, yeah, they're supposed to be 2 for $5. And she goes, oh, well, they came up 2 for $4, so, there's not really a problem there. And she just doesn't want them. She says, I don't want them. They didn't come up the right price. I don't want them. You're saving $1, though. I don't want them. Bitch, are you stupid? What goes through the minds of these customers? Seriously. Now, I could go on for hours about all these random customer stories that I have. So if you do like the customer stories, just leave a like, and I'll make a video strictly on just customer stories for you. But we're going to be moving on to the next rule now. Now, another rule and pretty much mindset that you should go into retail stores with is don't expect every customer to be the nicest person on earth. Now, I say this because there are customers out there that literally the point they go there is to ruin your day, it seems. Like, I'm being serious. There'll be people that go into your store and it just seems like all they want to do is just piss you off and, make you feel like shit because you work in a place of retail. I had this one guy not too long ago, actually. He came through my line, and basically how our store works is we have a place to buy alcohol. It's in our cafe. That's where you buy alcohol. You have to go over there to buy it, which is where it's located. Like, there's shelves there with alcohol on it, and there's a register there, and people pick it up and just don't pay for it there, and they think that you can run it through the original registers. That's against the law in the state that I live in, so you have to have two separate places for buying alcohol and for buying groceries. So you can't buy groceries at the place where you buy alcohol, and you can't buy alcohol at the place where you buy groceries. That's basically how the store works. It's a pretty simple rule, and it's stated everywhere. Like, there's a big sign about it and everything over in those areas. So basically, this guy comes up with a pack of Miller Lite, I believe it was. It was like a 6-pack of Miller Lite and some sugar. It's a pretty weird combination, but that's what he had. And I scanned the sugar, and I said, "Did you pay for that over in the cafe?" And he goes, "Yeah." Like, loud, and I was like, oh. Like, I didn't know what happened, so I went, oh, and then I kind of giggled a little bit because he kind of, yelled at me, and I didn't really take it that seriously because I thought it was kind of funny the way he said, yeah, he was like, yeah, I was like, whoa, and I was like, and he goes, this is really stupid, and I said, what, sir? And he goes, that you have to pay for that. You have to pay for alcohol over there, and you have to pay for groceries over here. What the hell's the point of that? And I said, well, it's kind of against the law to sell alcohol, in a place that's not allowed to sell alcohol. You have to, have a designated area for that. And I tried to explain that to him, and he goes, yeah, whatever. And I still continued giggling. I have no idea why I was laughing at this guy. Like, his voice and just stuff was kind of funny. So I was smiling, but I was also like chuckling a little bit. I wasn't like laughing in his face or anything, but I was kind of laughing, And his total, I forget how much the sugar was. It was like $1.50 or something like that. And he had 2 quarters. He gave me $1, and then he had 2 quarters, and he threw them at my stomach. Like, he just whipped them at me, like right at my chest and my stomach. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then that's when I really started to laugh because, you can't take it seriously when people are throwing quarters at you. Like, I just felt like a stripper or something like that. Just whipping change at As Daniel Tosh would say, he's making it hail. So that's pretty much what happened. He just whipped the change at me, and it fell to the floor, so I had to pick it up and put it in my drawer. And before I could even offer him his receipt, he was already gone. He just disappeared. It was like he picked up his 6-pack of Miller Lite, he picked up his sugar, and he just ran for his life. That's pretty much what he did, because he was gone. You had to have been at full sprint to get away by the time I picked up those 2 quarters. It was just nuts. Like, how do you even do that? Like, you're super mean, and then you throw change at me, then you just run away. How am I supposed to take you seriously like that? The next story I have for you has to do with an elderly woman and her bags. Now, this woman really wanted her bags to be bagged lightly, which I can understand because old people are, weak after a certain point. So I bagged her bags, like, really lightly. I put, a jar and maybe, like, a box of crackers in one bag, and that was it. And then I got to this one, and I put her lunch meat, which was, like, really light. It wasn't that much lunch meat, with her, sandwich bread. Which, I thought, hey, maybe they're going to actually go together to make sandwiches. So, 2 birds, just throw them in there together. 2 birds, 1 stone, man. So I did that, and I put them in the bag together. And it got to this point where she was going through all of her bags because apparently, I don't know, she trusted me with her bags. I don't understand what it was all about. And she started picking up stuff out of the bags and putting them in different bags. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. I've been bagging for a while. I know what goes with what. But hey, it's her groceries. That's fine with me. She can do whatever she wants. So then she takes one of the jars out of the bag and slams it against the counter. And I was like, whoa, like it scared me. Like I was trying to get her receipt, and I looked over at her, and it was like, boom, against the table. And I was like, whoa. And I went, you okay? Like, because I didn't know what happened. I was like, whoa, you okay? And she goes, I didn't want this bag together. And I went, oh, I'm sorry. And then she started going through her other bags, and she took the lunch meat out from where her, bread was, and she threw the lunch meat down. And I was like, what the heck? How is that not okay? I thought they would go together later. But all I really said was, I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't know that you didn't want those together. I'll package it for you. She goes, no, I'll take it from here. And I was like, okay, do my job for me. That's all right. No, I didn't say that. But, she bagged her stuff for herself, and then she was like, I'm sorry I have to do this. And then she walked away. And I was like, what are you sorry you have to do? I was confused. Like, she was already gone, and I had no idea the answer to that question. I was like, what does she have to do? And I looked around. There was no more customers after her, so I was kind of just by myself. I was like, what is happening? What's she going to go do? So I didn't follow her or anything. I stayed at my register, and like maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, my manager comes out, and she like gives me that little like shrug from across the room, like, what was that all about? Like, she raises both of her hands, like that double hand roll, like, what the heck? And she comes up to me and goes, what happened with her? And I said, I don't know. I just kind of bagged her groceries like I always do. And she goes, she said that you were putting stuff with, like, not that stuff that doesn't need to go together. And I said, well, I put the lunch meat with her bread. And she goes, that's it? And I said, well, yeah, pretty much. And I put some jars with some, crackers. And she goes, oh, she made it seem way worse. And she goes, she wanted to file a complaint on you. And I said, she wanted to file a complaint? What the hell? Like, this fucking geezer just wants to, like, file a complaint on an 18-year-old kid that works at a grocery store. Like, what the hell? Anyway, what ended up happening was she said, I'm sorry I have to do this. Like I was some sort of dog. I was Old Yeller, and they were going to take me out to the backyard and just shoot me or something like that. Like, they were putting me down. I'm sorry I have to do this. And she just went and tried to file a complaint on me, and that's what happened. Like, my manager didn't go through with the complaint. They just kind of removed it from the books because it wasn't that big of a complaint. It was just like, hey, the bags weren't together the way that she wanted, which is kind of biased because no one else has ever complained about the way I bagged their stuff. It was just really weird, and you just really have to expect some things like that not everyone is super nice. So that's pretty much all the ranting about my job that I have to do in this video right now. If you like this and it made you laugh at all, make sure to leave a like, and maybe I'll make a second episode about more stuff. I'm full of stories about stuff at retail, and I know that you guys like my other story segment videos as well, so I guess I'll throw that into this category, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Leave a like for more, and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me out a lot. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later.